Doris Stokes is certainly Britain's most famous medium and has travelled all over the world. Until about 1978, Doris was relatively unknown, except within spiritualism. She then went to Australia, was an astonishing success all over that continent. When she came back, Doris Stokes really took off, so to speak.
All my makeup's running, pouring out the now.
Spiritualists say the dead do survive, but it is correct to contact the so-called dead. I point out, we can't bring the dead back. The dead come back because they want to come back. They come back because of ties of love and affection. Orthodox clerics cannot give that comfort. All they can do is to tell a grieving couple what was written down in the Bible 2,000 years ago. A medium like Doris, on the other hand, can say to a couple, don't worry, your child is alive. Come and sit with me, and I will try and prove your child is still alive in the spirit world.
She actually brought my son, who died, to me, and she really was phenomenal. Every single thing she did and every single thing she did for me was just absolutely wonderful. As far as I was concerned, my son had died, and that was the end. And she showed me that there was another life and there is another world, and it was, for me, the comfort was indescribable.
Will you please give a very, very warm welcome to Doris Stokes, the lady with voices in her ear.
Sorry about that. I thought I'd better apologise in case I seize up, in case they have to lift me out the chair when I go off to intermission. Hello everyone, how are you? Might I ask you why you've come this evening? Well, to see me. Why? Pardon? How many new people are here this evening? Bless your heart. How many new people are here this evening? Are you expecting me to climb up the wall or swing on the lights? Look, no horns. I'm just going to sit here and gossip with you for a little while until the voices start to come through, and then hopefully we have a two-way conversation. Now, you're not going to be afraid to join in, are you? You know? Hello, everybody. That's better. You know, when you go up north, you get such a roar, and I've had to teach the Southerners not to be afraid of me, to learn to mix in, but can't you tell that we're down in the East End? Because nobody's afraid to open the mouth and say, hi, Doris, because that's what it's all about. Now, wait a minute, love. I've got, I tried to tune in. I want to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere in the back, in the middle of the auditorium, towards the back. Have I got somebody there that knows the surname of Rogers? Here we are, love. Could you come down so I can see you, love? Hello, my love. Do you know the surname of Rogers, love?
Yes.
Spirit side. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when I'm doing this, it means our side of life. Thumb over my shoulder means spirit side. Until we get started, love, this is anybody's guess. Because all the voices come in at once. You're a bit nervous of me, love.
Slightly.
Don't be afraid, love. I've got a man here that went over quickly with a heart attack, love.
Not exactly a heart attack.
Pardon?
Cancer.
Let me hear your voice, love.
Cancer.
With oh, it's in his lungs, is it?
Yeah. Well, glands.
I thought it was a heart attack. It did have a heart attack at the end, he tells me. But my chest hurt me very badly. Don't worry about it, love. Where does the Rogers fit in? You're not Rogers, are you? No. His name is Rogers? Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were right, love, when I said spirit side. You see, when I go like this, love, it means the name I'm talking to is Mr. Rogers, spirit side. Who's Bill? Living. She's having to think. She's very young, love. Try and stick to the family. Who's Joan? It isn't, darling, it's John. You know, because the light's fair and he's very weak. Who's Tony? Doesn't mean the things he does it.
A person like Doris Stokes has to attune herself by raising her consciousness. Also, the cooperation of the spirit communicators who lower their, shall I say, frequency, for want of a better word. They lower their frequency. The medium increases her sensitivity, so the two unite, and we do get a form of communication. That's why communication between spirit person and physical person is always a very difficult process.
Sometimes it's clearer than others, and sometimes, and I can get the different accents. It's like being a telephone exchange. Sometimes I get the lines crossed, and then I get an awful mess. And then that's when you hear me say, I've made a right pig's ear of that one. Clear the wires and let me start again. But if it's right, then they'll keep giving it to me. I still keep hearing the same message. So then I have to work at it until I finally got it right. The little girl lives near the Green Man. Now let's separate that vibration if we can. Do you know Mary, love? No, the lady I'm talking to here. Do you know Mary's spirit side, love?
Yes.
Now hold it.
I know Mary, yeah.
And Tony belongs in the family too.
Yeah, on the spirit side, yeah.
Tony went quickly.
Yes, he did.
He was a very young boy.
Yes, he was.
Now Tony's talking about a pub called the Green Man.
It probably was. He knew a few pubs, yeah.
It's all right, Tony. Yes. Lovey, was his neck broken?
Pardon?
Was his neck broken?
Well, he had head injuries with a motorbike accident,
Yes. My head and my neck
Yeah.
seemed to got it. I didn't like to ask
No.
him, you know. It just, as it comes in close, I feel the impact. He said, yes, I never went home again, darling.
No, he didn't.
I was on my way home and I never
That's
got
right,
there.
yes.
Is he the baby, darling?
He was, did you say?
No, is he the baby of the family?
Yes, my young brother, yeah.
Because
yeah.
he said, I'm the baby, you
That's
know, Doris.
right.
I was very spoiled and
Yes, he was.
thought a lot of, I was the baby, she's my big sister.
That's right.
And it's the first time he's made it back, Lovey.
Yeah.
And he said, I've waited a long time. Just a minute, Tony, don't go. Who's Michael he's talking
My
about?
cousin.
Michael, he's been to see Michael, our side of life.
Yes.
Yes, Tony, wait a minute, love. Yes. You were thrown. He said I was thrown, you know,
Yes, he
Doris.
was.
So if you're worrying about it, he said, will you tell her that I didn't feel... The last impression I got was, oh, my God.
That's right, yes.
And over,
yes.
and that was it.
Yes.
He said, but my face was all right.
Yes, it was.
Everybody could look at me.
That's right.
And he said, don't you think I'm a handsome fellow? He's got a great sense of humour.
Yes, he has.
How the hell does Doris know who's going to be there? How does she know where they're going to sit? She couldn't possibly cheat. She gives survival evidence to hundreds of people every year. Now, if Doris were to cheat, she would have to have a whole network of people, an army of accomplices, to find out minute, intimate details about the spirit communicators who are going to prove their survival via her.
An inexperienced medium is looking for every clue and will seize upon that clue. So they will, in fact, enhance that. They will try to encourage the sitter to say a little bit more, a few extra words, or to give a little bit of information away by asking subtle questions, you know. But with an experienced medium, and let's face it, Doris has been medium since she was a child, but with an experienced medium, instinctively they know what they're searching for. Instinctively they know what they want to achieve.
Little Daniel, who's little Daniel? Okay, love, somebody... Has there been a birthday with little Daniel? We'll be there in a minute, Pat, yes. I don't know about Robinson or Roberts. Surname, where are we? Okay, Pat, hold it a minute, we'll be there in a minute. Come on, love, let's all join in, eh?
Yeah.
Come on, love, pick up.
I've got a Daniel.
Little Daniel.
Very little.
You know, baby Daniel. Did he have to go back into hospital, love?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah.
Can you hear me?
Come on, let me hear your voice.
Yes, he had to go back into hospital.
But he's all right now, love.
No. Well, he might be all right on your side, but
Pardon?
we've lost him.
Yes,
We lost him.
that's what they're saying, he's all right now, love. And they said, we've brought little Daniel. And he went home, and then he had to go back into the hospital. And he never went home again. But he said he's all right now. And he's about 3 now, lovey.
Yes, he would be.
I can see him. He's got auburn hair, love.
Yes, he has.
Yes, he's here, looking at the flowers. Yes, Daniel, you can, love. He says, can I have some flowers for my mum? So when you go tonight, lovey, will you take some flowers? Who's
Yeah,
Lynn?
he wasn't my baby.
No, but you know his mum,
Oh, yes, yeah.
don't you? No, he didn't. I didn't say
No,
to you. He
no.
said, can I have some flowers for my mum? Because she'll never believe I'm here, and he's a beautiful child. Just a minute, Daniel, yes. He had a defect, darling, in his heart. And they tried to repair it, and it didn't work. But he's grown up, he's nearly 3, he said, and he's talking away, and he knows I give the flowers away to where the children are, you see, because I had all the spirit children meet.
Now, it's true, a lot of the details do seem trite and trivial. But when you're dead, how do you prove you're still alive? Now, in my view, you can only do that by giving a lot of personal details that are relevant only to you.
Sometimes they tell me things I can't repeat in public, and I'm probably going, no, I couldn't say that, you see. I mean, I've had a lady come back and said, and tell my daughter to make up her mind she's got 2 men living with her. One's on days and one's on nights. And he said, that actually happened. What could you do? And he said, and I'm going, I don't think I could say that, love. Who's Elizabeth?
My mother.
Yeah. She's done what? You knocked a wall down, Levy. Well, not you, but you've had a wall knocked down.
I have.
And what went wrong? It was knocked in the wrong place or something. It all had to be shored up.
No, we just took it away in the end.
They took the whole thing away, but
Yeah.
you was going to have it all went wrong, didn't it, love?
Yes.
The saying said, and do you know, she had what a mess, they said. She had a wall knocked down and it all went wrong, and in the finish, whatever you planned to do, it all had to be scrapped. And they're laughing away because when you got the tiles for your floor, you did so much and then you hadn't got enough.
Not enough glue, that's right.
And you had to go racing off to the
Yeah.
shops. And
Yeah.
he said, and there the pub stood.
Yeah.
They'd move, wait for her to come back with the glue. He said, I cleared off till it was all finished, he said.
It normally did.
But, you know, love, it's only just, it may sound trivia, but you've never seen me in your life before, have you, love?
You?
Yes.
I have seen you once before.
But I've never worked with you before.
No, never.
And I've never spoken to you before, have
No.
I? So I couldn't possibly know
No.
all the things about the wall coming down unless they were actually telling me. So you've got to know that they're living somewhere for them to tell me these things.
Yeah.
And I remember so vividly when I was a young medium, I wanted to make a big impression, you see. I used to think I was marvellous. Can you believe that? People told me I was marvellous, and I believed I was. I was great Doris Stokes, the medium. But I used to sometimes lose contact, and everything would go off. I'd stand there, and I didn't know what to do. So one day I asked a top medium from London, and he told me to jot pieces down that I heard around the place. And he said, and if you lose contact, you just throw a bit out, you see. So I went in the loo, and I scribbled some bits down and put it in my hymn book, and went on. I was going great guns, and suddenly, woof, everything went off. So nothing dawned. I opened the hymn book, and the paper had gone. It just disappeared, just gone. And I thought, oh, dear, dear. So with nothing daunted, I started to make up. And I got myself into an awful mess. Oh, dear. But the next big show, I did it again. And never, ever before my God, I've never cheated or tried to pull anything since. Hello, my love.
Hello.
I'd just like to know that if you state before you die that you'd like to donate certain parts of your body, and when you die they remove these parts, when you get into the spirit world, does it affect you?
Well, I hope not, love. I've had so many parts cut off, I hope we've got them all labelled. No, honestly, that's joking. No, love. Everything is complete. So don't worry about that, love. Mind, I don't mind it. I've signed all my bits and pieces, what I've got left, away. Whether it be any good to anybody, I sincerely hope so, love. And I wish everybody here tonight, especially the youngsters, would carry a kidney donor card and a card for the eyes, because it is important. Give somebody else a chance.
Next, Doris, please.
Is the concept of time on the other side the same as we understand it here?
Well, it is when we first go, dear, because we're the same people as when we go over. So we have morning, afternoon and evening, and it takes us a little while to adjust.
But what happens to this 6-year-old child who continues to grow?
Oh,
40,
no, they
50?
have to go to school, dear. They're not very happy about that. There's nurseries for the babies. There's schools for the children. There's schools for the young adults. There's halls of learning for people like me, and halls of music. There's even a waiting place for the babies that go back before they're born, and the babies that are sent back that's aborted. And they're kept in little capsules till they're full term. Then they're born into the spirit world, and the spirit mother takes charge of them. And they're brought back to their natural parents here.
The spirit world simply interpenetrates our own physical world. But because the frequency of the etheric world is so high, we cannot register it with our physical senses or our physical touch. Therefore, the spirit world or etheric world does not interfere with our physical world. So that is where the spirit world is. It actually interpenetrates our own physical world.
I've got a lady here that had a cerebral hemorrhage, love, a stroke.
Yes.
You know, no, it's Rachel and Rebecca, and I think it's your mum.
Yes.
She said, it's me, dear. She said, I didn't quite know how to do it. All she could think about was Rachel and Rebecca. She adored those kids, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she never actually saw them in this life.
She adores them, love, she does. And she said, I just wanted her to know that I know Rachel and Rebecca. And she said, she's heard you saying, if only my mum could see them. If only mum could see our lovely grandchildren. Well, I've come back to tell you I do know them. I've watched them born, and I've watched them grow up. And I'm watching them grow up. Yes, darling, I do. Who's Andrew? I still keep getting this Andrew. It doesn't mean a thing to anybody. Andrew's spirit side, love.
Yes, I've just been talking to you downstairs.
Wait a minute. Oh, the wanted proof. All right, keep listening, love, because I pop little bits and pieces in. Just a minute, darling. I'm not sure about that. Something to do with nursing or hospitals or something.
Yes, I'm a nurse.
Oh, that's it. Now we're getting somewhere. Come on. She's not quite sure of me at all, lovey. It's a short name, only 3 letters. She's given me that Ada, Ivy, Amy, Eva. Only 3 letters. It's not, it's May, and it's the lady in red the light's gone over. Somebody called May, spirit side, lovey.
Oh, no. Yes, I have got somebody in the spirit world, May.
She said, no, the light's gone over. I just want, they're all popping in and out. But have you tried to work on 5 telephone lines at once? Michael? That's what I was doing. And towards the end of the evening, don't forget those people that pay £5 a ticket. And towards the end of the evening, I opened the doors and let everybody come in from the spirit world that's willing to come in. If it's only a little bit, just a name, a bit of a birthday message or something. And that's what was happening. But if you call that fishing, so be it, then I was fishing. I've never heard it called that before. Who's Frank? Or Francis? Living? Sorry, it isn't. It's Fred's spirit side. Doesn't belong. Belongs to the lady in the red, just behind. You know Fred's spirit side, lovey. She doesn't know you, Frederick. Come on, love. Are you wearing red, love? Is she wearing red? Yeah, it says she's wearing red. That's it. Come on, Fred's daughter. Let's be having you. Sorry, love. I thought you were wearing red. Yeah. Hello, love. He wasn't going... Pardon?
So I spoke to you earlier on about my mum. And now you said my father, Fred.
Well, he's just going, he said, tell her it's Fred. And when he said, she's wearing red, love. So obviously I went to try and give it to that lady, and he said, no. He said, she did so want me to come. Didn't you, love?
Yes.
And so that's all right then. We've done that okay, Fred. Yes, just a minute, love. Who worked with the co-op, love?
My father.
That's it. You all right, Freddie, love? You're on the right wavelength.
He was a milk lorry driver. He worked on the milk lorries.
Well, he worked with the co-op.
Yes.
Yes, did you, love? He said, it's bloody hard, this, isn't it? It is, love. It's difficult when the power's starting to get a bit weak, and we have to sort of gee it up a little bit. But he said, they kept pushing me to say, go on, Fred. Go on and do it. You know, because she's, yes, I will, love it. Did you, he said, I had it down here, girl.
Pardon?
He said, I had it, I said, well, did you suffer, love, before you got over? And he said, yes, I did. It started down here, gal. And then came up.
That's right.
He said, it started down here, gal.
I didn't know it started down there, but...
What, love?
It finished up here.
That's what he said, it started down here, gal. Then it came all up here. Oh, he said, I did have it was a bad time. I'm glad to be free of that. Did you now? Yes. Does Elizabeth go with Fred, lovey? No, Eva goes with Fred.
Yes, my mother and my father.
Both
Eva
together.
and Fred. And they're together.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
And she said, I went to find him for you, love. She calls him Freddie. So I went to find our Freddie, and she said, come on, let's have a go and see if we can do it. Oh, you're their baby, love.
Thank you.
They love you so much. You're wearing your mum's ring now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, so she got my ring on. Yes, did you, love? And did you get very poorly, love, Fred? Yes. I don't know. Strange things to tell me, love. You haven't got a lilac bush in your garden, have you?
Yes.
Are you cutting?
Beautiful lilac.
He said, when the lilac's out in your garden, girl, just go and pick a spare and say, Mum and Dad's here. You know, because they suddenly showed me this beautiful lilac tree. And so be happy and know that they're here, love.
Yes, thank you very much.
So you see, it can work if you send out love, can't it?
Yes.
All right, my love.
Thank you.
I've learnt now the 3 principles I have to live by in my work. That's humility, which takes a hell of a long time to learn, honesty and humour. And if I stick by those 3 principles, then they won't let me down. I would like to say thank you all very much for your love you've given me this evening. For those of you I've spoken to, I hope I've given proofs of survival. To those of you who I haven't been able to contact, then I would like to say this to you. Remember that your loved ones are always close to you. Even though they haven't spoken to you tonight, you've only got to send out a thought and they'll be there. So safe journey home, and God go with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's just one more person Doris would like you to meet. Will you please give a very warm welcome to Doris's husband, John. John Stokes.
I don't know whether she fell over my feet, stuck her foot out, or whether I fell over hers. Said something about clumsy sergeant. And I was with another girl, actually, a mate of mine. And I said, you go on. And Doris was dressed in Air Force uniform, you know, wartime. As a young medium, she was under there. And once she got her wings, we had to wait until Terry had grown up, I suppose. And then she started touring the Midlands, and then up in Lancashire. And people started to get to know her.
I've served my apprenticeship. I've trudged all over the country, knee-deep in snow. I had to catch 3 buses to get home. Got home at midnight. I've been so physically exhausted. I've stood in front of the fire and John's had to bring me a pill and I've vomited for 2 and 6 pence. And that included your bus fares. So you have to see, we've served our apprenticeship. The mediums that have got names today. We just didn't come out and suddenly appear, you know, like we've certainly served our apprenticeship the hard way. You remember who this is, Michaela?
Romanov. I'm not quite sure.
He's my guide.
Your guide, of
And without
course,
Romanov,
yes.
I wouldn't be able to have this.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Mobile
Doris,
home.
yes.
It should be Romanov, but Terry had it
Yes.
carved for me and he put
It's
Romanov.
beautiful, Doris.
But without
It
him, I
really is.
wouldn't have this place.
Well, you do a lot for him. He does something for you. But
Yes, I
without
suppose
you,
it's
I mean, he
two-way
couldn't
thing.
come through to this world, could he?
No. I've got money in the bank for the first time in my life. I earned this in Australia, but I worked hard for it. But basically, money is secondary importance to me, thank God. I love a divine service. I think it does you good to do a divine service. I do try and go once a month or so, if I'm not on the road, because it refreshes you. It sort of brings you down to what it is really all about, not just theatres and things like that. Pardon?
Lead us in prayer, dear.
Would you like to? I don't mind.
No, I'd like you to.
Would you like, shall we join together in prayer, friends? O great divine Spirit, creator of all life, and yet very dear Father and friend of each one of us here present, we ask thy blessing. We ask thy blessing upon this church and all its members. We ask thy blessing upon the sick and the suffering. Forgive us our debts, dear God, and give us the grace to forgive our debtors. We have promised to do our best for you, and in return you have promised, if we come to you as a little child, you, our dear Father, will answer, if it be to our good. God bless you. Amen. I'd like to talk about death. To me, death is a great adventure we've got to look forward to. There's no darkness to be feared. And isn't it wonderful that God not only loves us enough to give us life after death, but He's made it possible for our loved ones to come back and talk to us. And I know, with beyond absolute doubt, with certainty, you can't die for the life of you. That is a fact. Don't tell me it's not true, because I know it is. I've been there. I've died and come back. So I know what it's like even to die and nothing to be afraid of at all. Most wonderful sound. All your pain goes away. You're going feet first. Spiral of lovely colours. There's a light at the end, and you know when you reach in that to get to that, and your spirit people, but your loved ones are going backwards in front of you. So there's nothing to be afraid of at all. Nothing to be afraid of at all in dying.
Something because he lost his brother last year, and now what have you got to come to do to show him that his brother is still with him?
Doris puts you at ease as well, and when she
He was
says about
frightened
the
to
spirits,
approach the spirit.
I was very frightened of spirits, but now I'm
You
not
see,
frightened now. I
He has read a bit in a book.
I've read some of the books that Doris has written, yeah. So I thought I'd come up and see. And I really, you know, I really do believe now.
I just want him to prove to him that his brother's not dead. That he's still with us, because he was a very special boy, very special boy.
Yesterday when that mother and son came up to the rostrum, and they were very disappointed, although I know that he tried to get through, you see. And immediately I said, the boy was there, and I said, what do I call you, love? And he said, Stephen. And then he said to his brother, he said he's wearing all my jewellery and stuff, my watch and everything. And the mother turned around and said, he's been waiting for that for a year, and in 1 second you've done it. And the boy went out grinning all over his face. Then it's worthwhile. And I said I would agree to see them. Hello, my love. Hello, God bless you, my love. Do sit down. Are you not going to be scared, are you?
No, no.
Were you happy yesterday?
Yeah, really was.
You know?
Brought a lot of comfort, yes.
Just that little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was a great deal of mystery and confusion around him, love.
Yes.
But he wasn't killed, love, in a road accident or anything like that.
No.
I didn't get that. I didn't feel as I was thrown or something hit me. I think he said he was found.
I found him.
On the bed.
No, on the floor.
Well, it was in his room.
Yes.
And he said, I said, did you go out and not come back? He said, no, I was at home, I was found.
Yes, I found him.
Oh, you poor soul. Stephen, I know this is a bit quick, love, but you take your time and sort of, yes. Who's Gary?
It's one of his friends.
It's one of his best friends.
He said, I've been talking to Gary just before. I hope I'm not going to distress you, but
no.
I think that he brought his, you know, he was very young. I feel as if I got something over my head. Why can't I breathe?
Yeah.
He'd taken an overdose or something.
He took his own life, yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
He shot himself.
Oh, that's right. I feel as if, and yet I didn't feel as if it was, no, I felt as if I couldn't breathe, as my head.
Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he used to say about a couple of weeks before he died, I used to always walk in his bedroom to talk to him, and he used to say he felt as if his head.
His head.
He was a thinker. He was a thinker.
He said, I feel as if felt as if the top of my head was coming off.
Yes.
But
yes, I understand that.
He said, what a stupid thing to do. Can you forgive me, Mum?
Yes.
You see, love,
Yes.
he was out of his mind for that short time.
Yes, I do forgive.
He wouldn't have done it if he was in his right mind. And let me make one thing clear to you, lovey, right from the start. They're not punished.
No.
He's not in some desolate place, love, or in hellfire. Because he was sick in the mind.
Yes.
So who's Joan?
Yes, he always used... I'm Joan.
Oh, that's it. That's what I'm waiting
Joan,
for.
thank you.
He said, tell our Joni. He goes, our Joni. He said, I really got it into my head that I had something the matter with my head.
Yes.
And he used to, if things didn't go right, he was a very sensitive boy.
He was very, very sensitive.
He used to look in at himself. He could gone out and yelled and shouted. It would have been a great help to him, but he couldn't.
Yes.
He used to brood on things.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And I bet when he was not in his moody periods, he'd be the most loving, affectionate boy you could wish me. Give you the earth.
He was.
To me, God's special children are always like this. But he said,
yes.
And he plays the guitar over there.
Oh.
He always wanted to play the guitar.
That's right.
He used to stand in front of the mirror for hours.
Yes, he used to stand in front of the mirror with the guitar.
He said, well, I can play the thing now. So there. They've taught me properly over here. But he said, you know, I used to try and play the guitar.
Yeah, he did.
And he said, well, I can play the guitar properly now. So,
Oh.
so don't worry about him there, lovey. He's okay. Somebody called Clark. Surname of Clark he's talking about.
Oh, yes. Grandparents.
He's met the Clark family over there. Then there's somebody called Mary.
That's my mum.
She's arrived.
Yes.
And she said, now look here, Joni. Don't you worry about him. We're looking after him. Or he's looking after us.
Thank you.
And you've got to stop fretting. You know? You got your life to live, love. I don't know why I was talking about a dinner service for.
It's me.
Yes. You haven't bought a dinner service, son, have you?
I've just started a new job.
Oh, is it something to do with pottery and things?
Yeah.
He said, you know, plates and things.
I've just started a steward's job.
Handing out plates, serving dinners. And
Yeah.
What the hell is all right dinners? She knows all about you, love. Was there a flower, an anchor of flowers?
Yes.
At the he said,
Yes.
thank you for the anchor of flowers. You didn't think I'd bloody see that, but I was there.
Yes, that's where I had him an anchor.
He said, and he said
He
it.
loved the water. He loved the water.
He said, and the best thing about the funeral, ever so many people turned up.
They did.
I was surprised. They stood outside the door, you know, they couldn't get them in.
That's right.
He said, but the best piece of flowers I love was the anchor.
That's right. That's what we got him.
Beautiful. Thank you for the anchor. Thank Dad for the anchor.
And he knows he had a military funeral, does he?
Oh, yes. Marvellous. Never thought that ever happened to me.
See, even at the end, you want to give them what you can, don't you?
And I stood outside, he said, and I stood and watched it, you see. One wreath kept falling off, he said.
Yes.
My dad will get annoyed in a minute, because everything has to work with clockwork with Dad.
Yes, that is right.
And he said this, they kept putting it up and it kept falling down. And he said I could spare him if Father said, if they don't fix that, I'll go and do the thing.
Yes, that is right, yes. Yes,
And then we had to
behind watching
wait.
it.
He said, but he said I was there. So what more proof could you have? Love?
That is right. That's marvellous.
I'm not afraid of death. There's no darkness to go into. Somebody comes and takes you by the hand, you simply step from this room into the next room, into another dimension. But don't think it's all milk and honey unless you've earned it.